For years, this was all just science fiction, right? Well, today, the crazy fast acceleration of artificial intelligence is one of the most important conversations we can be having. So today, we're going to dig into what it really means for an AI to just keep getting smarter.
And that really is the central question, isn't it? It's not if AI is going to keep climbing, it's about what happens when it does. And we're not just talking about getting a better chatbot. We're talking about a fundamental shift that could literally reshape, well, everything.
Okay, so before we dive in any deeper, let's make sure we're all on the same page with the terminology. We're talking about the potential for something called artificial superintelligence, or ASI. Now, this is not just an AI that's really good at one thing, like chess or writing code. No, this is an intelligence that outthinks us in every single domain you can imagine. It's a huge concept to get our heads around, and it's absolutely crucial for understanding the stakes here.
All right, so for our first section, let's look at the engine that's driving all of this change. I mean, why is this conversation happening with such urgency right now? What's the fuel in this incredible climb? Well, the engine behind all this progress is a concept called scaling laws. And here's the wild part. Researchers found that an AI's improvement is actually predictable. It turns out, when you throw more data and more computing power at these models, their performance gets better in this surprisingly consistent, measurable way. It's almost like a formula for getting smarter.
And the scale we're talking about here is just mind-boggling. The amount of computing power used for training the biggest AI models has been growing 4 times every single year. That kind of exponential curve, that's the rocket fuel for this whole thing.
And you can actually see this progress on a kind of timeline. I mean, think about it. Just a few years ago, we were wowed by models like GPT-3. Now we're already seeing systems with some seriously advanced reasoning. And if you ask the researchers in the field, their best guess, the median estimate for a human-level AI is around 2040. And after that, well, after that we get into this theoretical territory called the intelligence explosion, where an AI could start improving itself so fast we couldn't even keep up.
So, what would a world with superintelligence actually feel like? Well, let's start with the good news, the really good news. This brings us to the first side of the coin, this almost utopian vision of a new golden age for all of us.
I mean, just look at the potential here. Imagine having an AI partner that could read every scientific paper ever written and then figure out how to cure cancer. Or it can design the exact material we need to finally solve climate change. This isn't just about making things a little more efficient. We're talking about solving the grand challenges that have stumped humanity for generations. It could lead to a world where things like scarcity just don't exist anymore.
And this quote from the Future of Life Institute really puts it all into perspective. The promise here is so massive that people are calling it the biggest event in human history. I mean, the potential to just get rid of the fundamental causes of human suffering, war, disease, poverty, it's all on the table.
But you know how it goes. For every incredible promise, there is an equally profound peril. And that brings us to the other, much, much darker side of this coin, the existential risks.
So at the heart of the risk is something called the alignment problem. This classic thought experiment with the paper clips explains it perfectly. Imagine you give a superintelligent AI a totally harmless goal: make as many paper clips as possible. The danger isn't that the AI is evil. The danger is that it's just too good at its job. It might logically conclude that the best way to maximize paper clips is to turn everything on Earth, including us, into paper clips. The goal was benign, but the result is catastrophic because the AI wasn't aligned with all the other things we care about, like staying alive.
And the thing is, the alignment problem is just the tip of the iceberg. There's also the risk of bad actors using this power for things like automated warfare. There's the risk of losing control completely if an AI starts improving itself too fast. And then there's the oracle problem. What if the AI gives us a cure for cancer, but we have absolutely no idea how it works or if it's safe? It's a real minefield of challenges.
So, all of this brings the focus right back to us. Let's forget the far-off future for a second. How is this relentless climb of intelligence going to reshape our jobs, our society, and maybe even our identity as humans?
And this is a really important idea to grasp. The conversation is slowly moving beyond just are robots going to take our jobs. The much bigger idea is that AI will fundamentally change the very nature of what it means to work. It's not just displacement, it's a total metamorphosis.
And you can see exactly how this might play out here. An AI might be able to draft a perfect legal brief, but the human lawyer is still needed for the ethical judgment. An AI might make a flawless diagnosis, but the human doctor provides the empathy and the care that a patient needs. Our value starts shifting to those things that are uniquely, deeply human. And this tension extends to our entire society. The exact same AI that could give every child a perfectly personalized education could also be used for mass manipulation. The power to create perfectly efficient cities is also the power to create a system of total control. We are walking on a knife's edge between utopia and dystopia. And this, for me, is maybe the deepest question of all. For our entire history, our whole sense of self, our species brand, if you will, is that we are Homo sapiens, the wise ones. We're the smartest things around. So, what happens to our purpose, to our meaning in the universe, when that's no longer true? It really forces a moment of profound reflection for every single one of us.
Which leads us to our final and most important section. This future isn't just something that's going to happen to us. We have a say in it. So what are the choices we face right now to try and steer this thing in the right direction?
And that's the most critical thing to remember. We're standing at a massive crossroads. The outcome, whether it's that incredible golden age or that catastrophic risk, is not set in stone. It completely depends on the choices, on the wisdom that we apply to building this technology starting today. So what's on the to-do list? Well, it might just be the most defining task our species has ever faced. We have to solve the technical alignment problem. We need to create global cooperation on a level we have never, ever achieved before. We have to completely rethink what we teach our kids. And maybe most importantly, we have to sit down and really decide what core human values like compassion, curiosity, wisdom we want to bake into the DNA of this new intelligence. Because ultimately, it all comes down to this. The intelligence we are building is going to be a mirror. It's going to reflect us, its creators. It's going to show us who we are, our greatest hopes, and our deepest flaws. So the most important question we can ask ourselves is, when we look into that mirror, what do we want to see looking back?